And so douchebag whispering is where just like vagina whispering, you are speaking to the douchebag in douchebag words while archiving and bibliographying and citing and sourcing his words or her words for them. So their words for them, or in Sailor's preferred pronoun, it's his words for him. In a book that he has said 2 to 10 times, I will not write a book. Because when people say, hey, you have genius things, and they're not even thinking, you have genius things, could you write a book? Versus expanding on the last genius point that he dropped. And he always says, I wrote the mobile wave. And guess what? I'm the only guy who read the mobile wave, okay? I'm the only guy who read it. So why are you asking him to write his next book when you haven't read my last 5? You haven't even read an article. And I'm not saying this to you two because I know that you'll read a bunch of stuff because on the phone you've been Googling vagina whisperer, which was my entree, thanks for laughing, which is my entree into Stanford Women in Business. What's a man doing speaking at a women's conference? Women 2.0. Like, what's a man doing writing about women? Well, funny you should ask, because I read the book, Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom, and that's a springboard. And I DJ'd that to Johnny Depp, which is the derivation of vagina whisperer. He does this thing called gender reversal acting exercises. Gender reversal acting exercises. So I did gender reversal entrepreneurship exercises. Johnny Depp didn't know me before, but you can guess that Johnny Depp knows Larry Chang now. Is Johnny Depp gonna sue? He doesn't like losing, and he's got smart lawyers. And when you're a, super established person, you want people to do this to you because you get better. This is riding the wave, which is what Gasper was talking about. This is investing in momentum. This is how momentum works. Because if somebody's pushing you, like we're pushing Michael Saylor being a douchebag whisperer, he's going to benefit because he's going to be like, hey, can I get involved? Can I read early editions? Can I participate? Are there holes? I don't want to sound dumb. How many times have you heard this? Oh, I don't want you to quote me. I don't want to sound dumb. That's what we women say. But men, they say, hey, can I maybe have an early perusal at that? Because I don't want to seem like I'm an idiot. Even though they're pretty confident. And you see how that's participatory. So now the conclusion is the external API has now come inside the house. Which it comes in the house every time I do it. So I used to be outside of your board of directors, making you feel like bad because you can't listen to the largest repository of entrepreneurship knowledge that's ever assembled in one human being. Or you could benefit because of the 2 to 10 urban legend stories that you've heard. So the external API coming inside the house.
Well, that's genius, by the way.
Thank you.
The Johnny Depp gender reversal, and then you used it and wrote your women entrepreneurial. That's genius.
It's called gender reversal entrepreneurship exercises. Gender reversal entrepreneurship exercises.
Yeah, and I wrote general reversal women entrepreneurial.
No. See, it's gender reversal.
Yeah, just general reversal. Okay, so you said something, and I wrote it down. And you said when you were just speaking, you said expand on the last genius point he dropped.
Always.
And I loved that. So if someone drops a genius point, my mind's working through this. So if I hear something, then I have the ability, or I can expand on it. I can research it and go deeper and then explain it. So is that basically... Are we going to do that in our book, the Bitcoin
Always.
Days?
Always.
So we'll take the points that Michael Saylor, his genius, that he clearly hasn't expanded on, and then we will them to explore. We will expand on some of those points, or all of those points.
Yeah, using his points.
Using his points, and then we're expanding on them so that the 8th grader can understand it.
Exactly. And all we're doing is the most basic form of work. This is what this is, which will motivate us. This is a glorified book report. What they don't teach you at Stanford Business School, it's a glorified book report.
Love it.
And so what I did, because I'm really good at what you're saying, which is I'm really good at this thing, which is a new thing, which is PQRST, Preview, Question, Review, Summarize, Test. So when people are presenting new genius material, people want to cognitively, miserly pretend to learn, and then they'll knee-jerk say, oh my gosh, you're so much smarter than me, but they don't say that part. They just say, hey, you should write a book, which is actually demoralizing because the beta or the gamma lower level person is now giving the alpha a task. Hey, write a book for me. Or my favorite, oh, I can't take notes right now. Can you email me what you said? Like, there's no bigger FU to come from a beta male than to tell an alpha, wow, what you said was really good on that call on Saturday. Can you email me a summary?
Interesting.
Gasper's laughing. Why?
Because it happens often. Actually, the real reason why I'm laughing is I think most people don't know they're doing it.
I think people that do that are lazy. I mean, they should take their own notes.
They're poor
They're poor.
and lazy. It's a deadly combo.
Well, that's true. Then they're most likely always going to be poor. I do find that people don't realize how much work it is to make money. I mean, it's been a lot. I've made money. It's been a lot of work. I've worked. I think there's...
No, Donna, no. What you said was wrong, okay?
Okay.
Sorry. Did you like how I was trying to be a douchebag whisperer? Because if Donna were an executive man, she'd be like, yeah, you're right. Because it actually does not take a lot of work to make money. In fact, it almost takes no work. In flow, it literally takes no work. Because this is play, and we're going to be making Bitcoin while we make Bitcoin, which is why I took notes for you already on your Twitter if you refresh your Twitter.
Okay.
PQRS,
Go follow Michael Saylor on my Twitter.
PQRST and focus on the work. So the reason that Gasper laughed, and what specifically did you laugh at? The work, right?
Well, actually, it was the interaction when you were talking about the data and alpha.
Yes.
What struck me is like, I don't think the data male doesn't even know that that's happening. You know, like they can't interpret it that way.
Yes. Which is why the alpha will always say, wow, I'm actually learning as much from you as you learn from me. Kevin Durant, Steve Kerr at basketball camp, Tom Brady when he talks to rookies, Larry Chang when he talks to lower level 260, 280 IQ people. I always say, thank you, because I've actually learned more from this than you've learned from me. So when a beta male says, hey, those are great ideas, can you email that to me? All we're doing is we're treating Michael Saylor like he's the beta and the alpha. And that's the genius part, because it's the duality and complexity of being a female rising and falling simultaneously. Because that's what we are as humans. It's just that the genders are slightly different, but not very different at all. And so can we be beta during our ascent to alpha? Can we be okay with being bossed around by a Larry Chang that we made into our administrative assistant, which was my hack, my optimization, my strategy for being Stanford Women in Business keynote. They'd never had a man before. And then when other professor women saw me, they literally rolled their eyes. this was my speech, and this was my pitch. As the focus of the conference was, I don't know, to CEO, okay? Focus on the focus. I said, well, for that conference, are we going to be doing anything to boss around people as we are young females who are CEOs? And they're like, what do you mean? Like, wouldn't it be great if you could boss around a man who's older and to practice managing? Because you can't, as an A hire B, B's hire C's, C's hire D's. But the key is you got to be a C rising to a B hiring an A. So the bozo theory is A's hire B's, B's hire C's, and then C's hire D's. But if you're going to be at a Silicon Valley company, you got to be a C becoming a B, bossing around an A, or at least managing. This is called managing up the ladder. And so they're like, yeah, how do we do that? Have me be a keynote speaker. I don't need to have a name. This is what the keynote speaker does. Does the call to order, hey, everybody sit down, the bathroom's on the left. If anybody in this room needs a contact, text message 650-283-8008. Tell me if that number seems familiar to you. Text me and I will make that speaker introduction for you. Why? Because we as women, people laugh, we as women, we need to boss around powerful men, okay? Powerful men that make an introduction and open doors for us. This is all what we want, right? This is the conference, I don't know, to CEO. It's 2 days. So in the course of these 2 days, will you text me when you want a speaker email address? Will you text me, hey, Larry Chang, we need the cell phone number of Marissa Mayer, where you probably want to go after Marissa's email, but, shoot your shot, right? Other more powerful men couldn't come here at 8:30 a.m. to Stanford University to be your administrative assistant. So I hope you put pen to paper, 650-283-8008. These are the co-chairs of the conference, Christine Lee and Kathara. 3-minute keynote, the room was like, oh my God, we're on a rocket ship and it's going north. And then, I was their administrative assistant for 2 days, which was, I think, the easiest thing. It's a text app. It's turning your cell phone into a decentralized app that's centralized because one dude is hamster wheeling the contacts. Do you know how easy it is to get the speaker list? Super easy. It's firstname@startup.com. With an email, with a little intro, with a little bit of guidance, with a little bit of concierge service, which is what this book is. It's concierging Michael Saylor into goading him into writing a book by writing the book for him. Like, if you don't do your job on the board, I will do your job for you. Maybe you'll get the credit, but you'll definitely get richer. Maybe your feelings won't be hurt, but you'll get richer. Maybe whatever, but you'll grow in your career. You won't make 70 Bitcoin, but you might make 17 Satoshis. You might make 17 Bitcoin,